Hey one, hey all, especially you sitting right there. I'm in a good mood today. I hope you're doing well as well. And I thought that this was a fantastic time for us to take a look at something simple. You see, not long ago, I took a look at the massive, the mammoth, Weijiang Ultima Guard and everything to do with that guy. So I thought we'd slow it down a bit and take a few minutes just to focus on this little guy. It is the Transformers Power of the Primes Wave 2 Prime Master Alchemist Prime with his decoy armor, or pretender shell if you will, Submarauder. And he's going to be our focus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. It is fantastic to have you stop by here again. Please check me out everywhere. Have a look at Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, and Transformers Collectors NL. And, like, comment, share, and of course, please subscribe, stick around, have some fun with us. Your support means the world to me, and I always love to hear what you guys have to say on these little guys. And after the rather daunting task that I undertook to look at absolutely everything with the Weijiang Ultima Guard, I wanted to do something simple. Now, you might be asking, hey, why are you doing a Prime Master by himself? I looked at the Alpha Trion Prime Master a little while ago. That was a request by Alex, if I'm not mistaken. And since then, I've had a request to do this guy. I wasn't really originally going to pick him up, and I've even had a request to do the Wave 3, which we do not have here yet. So I said, hey, why not? When I finally saw him, I nabbed him. And I'm kind of glad I did. The guy's pretty cool. I mean, it's simple, so it's not going to take us very long, but he's pretty cool, especially the coloring. I mean, a walking fish? Come on! How is that not awesome? Anyway, enough of me babbling on about this guy. Let's head over to the table and take a closer look at him. And here, of course, we have everything to do with this little guy, but before we get into that, I just want to give a few shout-outs. First and foremost, I want to mention Mudkip Pug. M-U-D-K-I-P, and then the next word would be P-U-G. The guy he's a young guy, he's hilarious. Kind of consistently cracks me up with one-liners. By all means, check him out and what he is doing. I also want to give a shout out to Watchtower. Does a lot of gaming content. PUBG, Fortnite, Overwatch, Halo, Battlefield, just to name a few. So shout out to both of them. And to a bunch of new folks who have kind of jumped on the bandwagon in the last little while. John Hiscock, Sketch 726, Enthemus Politis. Very interesting name. Ricardo Dawkins, Vortex, Mr. Legend 27, Steelbane Prime, Leader Strag, Rex 2017, Darius Hall, Spiro Kalatis, and if I mispronounce that, I am so very sorry. Ronnie the Fox, UBK Gaming, Dominic Kelly, Noah 80, Solar Beer, and just for fun, Wolfie the Wolf. So there you go, there's a whole bunch. And we have this little guy. I'm not going to spend very long on this because we've already looked at a few of these before. So let's get into the packaging. It is packaging, that's for sure. We have nice artwork up top, and on the back, of course, we have your usual product shots, nothing major. Speaking of nothing major, here are the instructions if you really need them. I'm not really sure why you would. And then we have this little thing. It's kind of like a trident, so I think that's cool since this is, since Submarauder is like a underwater type of creature dude. And it has a little, I guess, 3mm peg for him to hold. And some paint on it. Nice bonus. And we have this little blue and white, gray, whatever robot inside. It is supposed to be Alchemist Prime. Of course, he has a ball joint at the head and on the shoulders. A little bit he can get in a seated position. He is pinned at the knees. Is he pinned at the hips? Yeah, he's pinned at the hips. You know, same movement as all these guys, nothing spectacular. To transform the little dude, you fold him over and apparently that's Alchemist Prime. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. You see, to me, this is Alchemist Prime. And this, of course, is the way he appears in the Covenant of Primus. And I don't know, like, to me, like this little guy does not look like that. You know, to each their own, I suppose, but I don't see it as Alchemist Prime, and even in terms of the coloring, it is way off. The little robot, the little Prime Master side is way off from what the inner robot should be for Submarauder. Nevertheless, here we have our itty bitty Submarauder, and his paint is pretty fantastic. There are a couple of areas that he's missing black, notably on his knees, and on his bicep there's a little, I'm not even sure what you would call it, like a little round circle molded into the plastic, and that should be black. Otherwise, he's pretty spot on, like enough that I'm going to say it's a solid 9. Works for me. He has very limited articulation, of course, with the arms able to go around, and that's really it. I thought that he was possibly remolded from this guy from Wave 1. This, of course, being Skullgrin. He's not. He's actually, I think, a new mold. Same tooling as all of these guys, of course. Naturally, he can hold his little trident thing in his hand, and I just popped that off. Look at that. He can hold his little trident thing in his hand. That's fine. Of course, it can attach back here, just like all of these things. Now, by right, Submarauder is supposed to, and I'm doing it backwards, supposed to turn into, or the little robot inside of the Pretender shell is supposed to turn into a, maybe I didn't do that wrong. No, I didn't. Submarine. And as we saw, the little robot inside this guy turns into a black and white square block thing, I guess. So can we at least mimic the submarine mode? Yeah, I guess. I mean, you could flip his trident thing up over his head, and of course the handle is supposed to come down so he can be wielded by deluxe or Voyagers or Legend class figures, but I mean, you could leave that up, put him face down, and that's kind of like a submarine. There are a couple of little pegs right here, kind of lower back behind his legs, and the feet of the little Prime Master have pegs in it, and you could just put the Prime Master on there, and there you go, like that. You know, that it might be a sub, maybe. I know I'm stretching it, but come on, I'm just trying to kind of get this guy as much versatility as I can. So taking that off, of course, and flipping that down, naturally, like with all these guys, we can open that up, and we can place him inside, and there you go. Paint apps for this guy. Overall, because I kind of don't really care about the little robot inside, overall, in terms of being a representation of Alchemist Prime, 0. In terms of being a representation of Submarauder, 9. The articulation, versatility, I suppose, of this little guy, I don't know, it's like all of these, like 2 or 3, I mean, there's not much to it. Transformation, if you like really easy transformations, then, you know, you got it, man. If you don't, then the transformation is going to be really low. I like it. I like it for what it is. I'm going to say that the transformation is an easy 9, I guess. Overall, I mean, he's a 4 or 5, just like all these guys. Nothing too spectacular. Once again, a robot mode, I suppose we'll call it robot mode. And I'm not sure why this guy's acting up, but here he is again with... Let me just center these guys a little bit here. Here he is again with Skullgrin. You know, it is what it is. Nothing spectacular to write home about, but they're cool in their own right. And here we are once again, and here he is once again. Look, here's the thing. These little Prime Master things, I mean, they're not the most exciting thing. They're not, you know, the most engaging in terms of engineering or conversion, but it is kind of cool to have some sort of a representation of these sometimes fringe characters, as this guy is, since he really only appeared in the comics. It's largely accurate, at least for Submarauder. I mean, obviously, as a version of Alchemist Prime, no, it's not Alchemist Prime. It's just not. But as a Submarauder, yeah, this is good enough for me. This works out all right. And, you know, if you're creative enough, there's this little sub, you know, his inner robot's supposed to become a submarine. This is, you can, if you squint and, you know, you look at it from the right angle, you can pretend that this is a submarine. Come on. I like that he's pretty much a new mold. I like the paint that's on him. I think as far as Prime Masters go, the guy's a success. He's one of the more interesting ones. Certainly one of the more eye-catching ones on a shelf, if for nothing else, because of his great coloring. Anyway, let me know if you're into these little guys or not. Like I said, this was a quick, easy one, just for a bit of fun. Something simple after something that was really daunting. Yeah, I think he's all right. He is all right. And that is all right with me. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving me some of your extremely valuable time. And I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here inside the videos.